at Otterbein. I'm Emma Ward. On this show, hear all about some new performances at Cowan Hall.
I'm Krista Scott. Also this week, see how the men's and women's basketball team did in the final games of the season. But first,
Stitches to Share will be collecting and donating personal care items to Bridge and Beyond, which is an organization providing assistance to homeless Central Ohioans. Bring items such as toothbrushes, shampoo, soap, feminine hygiene products, and any other personal care items to Library Room 14 on the second floor before Monday, April 4th.
last week, a news conference was held at Otterbein to announce the new STEAM Center. STEAM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Math. The building will offer more space for learning experiences and to collaborate with the entrepreneurs as well as the Westerville community. To see the news conference, still photos, renderings for 60 College View, a list of partners, associates, and vendors, you can visit the website provided. New information will be consistently added, so plan to go back and visit. Also, a huge thank you to the various departments and individuals who helped plan the day and to the campus community for engaging our guests and one another in this exciting new endeavor. The demonstrations were outstanding. You can join the conversation at #OtterBeinSteam and #Otterbein.
The Youth Philharmonic of Central Ohio is to present its annual spring concert. It will take place on Monday, March 7th at Cowan Hall. The Youth Philharmonic of Central Ohio is an independent youth orchestra made up of musicians from grades 8 through 12. Director Stephen Waddell conducts the orchestra at venues across Central Ohio. But the spring concert here at Otterbein will feature selections from a diverse repertoire of symphonic orchestra music. The concert is free and will be open to the public.
Do you love music and are looking for more INST events to go to? March 10th through 16th, Otterbein's Music Festival, The Guitar and Its Fretted Friends, will have various talks, classes, and concerts for you to go to. Admission to most events will be free as well as open to the public. A complete list of programming, the location, date, and time is posted online at the site below. The site also has a link for some events which require you to get tickets beforehand. Next on This Week at Otterbein, see how the baseball team fights back against cancer.
But first, here are some upcoming campus events to keep in mind when making your plans this week.
Hey everybody, this is Sean Boswell, or Book Boswell, whatever you call me by, because I'm so famous and whatnot. I'm here at the CC, and spring break is around the corner, and I wanted to know what a couple of students, or a lot of students, were doing for this spring break, so I asked a couple questions. Here we go. So I'm here with my good friend, Rachel Pierce. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. So spring break is coming up. It's like 2 or 3 days. This weekend or whatever. What do you plan on doing for this spring break?
Sleeping.
I'm going to Panama City.
I'm going to PCB with the OCF.
Eating.
So what are you going to do down there?
I'm going to spread the word of God.
There's a conference in the mornings, and then in the afternoon we're on the beach talking about Jesus to other people.
Relaxing. Enjoying nature.
So I asked a couple people what they were doing for spring break, and what I'm doing for spring break is really, really fun, guys. I'm going to be on campus at Clements, just in my bed, Netflix and chilling with myself and some cookies because, I don't feel like going back home. And I don't have any, where to go, like California or Florida, like other people. So I hope you had a good time listening to other people's voices and talking about where they want to go. Bailey, where are you going? You're going home? She's going home to Dover. To get her green beans with sweet tea. All right, guys. Hope you have a nice spring break. Peace.
With the end of February on the way, some of the winter sports came to a close this past week. The Otterbein men's basketball team ended their season on Saturday with a 79-69 loss to Heidelberg. The Cards were led in scoring by junior point guard Jake Phillis, who totaled 20 points in the game. Otterbein finished the season with an overall record of 4-21 and a record of 2-16 in the OAC, putting them as the bottom dweller of the conference. The Otterbein women's basketball team had a disappointing finish to the OAC tournament on Monday night. The Cards fell 71-62 to the Student Princes of Heidelberg after defeating them on Saturday 78-68. Amariah Huck was the leading scorer for the Cardinals with 18 points on 9 of 20 shooting. The women's team finished the year with a record of 14-12 and 9-9 in the OAC. After some of the top runners did not compete for the Cardinals last weekend at the Capitol Last Call, Otterbein will hit the track at Marietta for the OAC Championships this weekend. Last season, the men's team posted a 4th place finish, while the women's team finished in 2nd place. For full coverage of the meet, head on over to OtterBeinCardinals.com. The Otterbein lacrosse team kicked off their season last night on a cold and rainy evening in Westerville. The Cards took on the number 10 team in the country, Ohio Wesleyan, and fell by a final score of 17-4. Otterbein jumped out quickly to a 2-0 lead, but the battling Bishops turned it around and never looked back. After taking a 9-3 halftime lead, Ohio Wesleyan scored 8 goals in the second half to seal the win, while holding the Cardinals to just 1 goal. Otterbein got 2 goals from Marcus Willis, 1 goal from freshman Joe Sanfilippo, and senior Robbie Giuliano. Otterbein will next play on Saturday in Springfield as they take on another NCAC opponent, the Wittenberg Tigers. Game time is set for 1 p.m. The players and coaches on the Otterbein baseball team have a new look around campus for a good cause. David Kinder has more.
This week, the Otterbein baseball team gathered in the campus center to shave their heads, not for a fashion statement, but to help raise money for childhood cancer research. It's become a yearly tradition for the baseball Cardinals in coordination with the Versus Cancer Foundation. And for many players, including senior pitcher Justin Roberts, it has a personal meaning.
It's awesome to know that we're helping out, raising money for cancer. Me personally, I actually lost a friend this past summer to cancer, so it's great to give back to something like this and to raise money for such an awesome cause.
So far, the baseball team has raised over $2,000 towards childhood cancer research. This is Robert's 4th time going under the trimmers, and by now it's one of his favorite baseball traditions.
You know, my freshman year, it was kind of nervous because, I've gotten buzz cuts before, but I had never, actually gotten it shaved completely before. But, usually by the time it comes around, my hair's grown out long enough that I get kind of sick and tired of the length. So I look forward to it every single year at this point.
Teams across the country compete in the event in competition with each other to see who can raise the most money. And while most players look forward to the event, not every player agrees to part ways with their hair.
I was very tempted to just kind of me and a couple other teammates just hold them down and forcibly shave their heads, but to each their own. I'm a live and let live type of guy, and as long as they're involved with raising money, I have no problem with it.
In addition to the benefits in cancer research, Roberts says the team gains more from the experience than just raising money.
It leads to a really strong bond between the team.
Donations can still be made to the Otterbein account at the Versus Cancer website at vs-cancer.org. For Otterbein TV, I'm David Kinder.
Well, guys, the spring sport's going to be starting up, and all the spring sports teams head down to Florida for spring break. So.
All right, well, we wish them the best of luck. Yeah. All right, there have been many apps that test your knowledge on facts, but what about trying an app that gives hypotheticals? On this week's Tech Time with Jay, we take a look at the app What If?
Hey guys, and welcome back to this edition of Tech Time with Jay. I'm Jay Corbett, and today we're going to be taking a look at the app What If, which is a quiz game that asks you challenging and puzzling questions that can only be answered with a yes or no. And the questions are what if questions, which is the catch to this app. So let's take a look at What If, shall we? What If is a question game where you say yes or no to casual, personal, challenging, and crazy questions that can be immediately seen from other players around the world, and you can see their answers as well. This game is perfect for parties as well as for just passing the time. You have really nothing to lose, so they ask you to try out the game. An example of one of the questions that they could ask you could be, what if you could extend your lifespan with 20 healthy years, but you step on a piece of Lego every day when you least expect it? Hey, they say the world says 46% yes and 54% say no. But what do you say about a question like that? Only you know if you download this app. So guys, that is What If for you. It's an app that is free on the Google Play Store and the iOS Store for Apple phones. I suggest downloading it if you really do want to pass the time. And it's fun to see what type of what-if questions you're going to get. Like, for example, what if you were a superhero, but every day you could not eat cereal? Yeah, that's just a random one to bring up. But anyways, this is Tech Time with Jay. I'll catch you guys the week after because spring break is coming up. So I'll catch you the week after.
Well, that looks like a really interesting app.
Yeah, I might have to download that. Well, that's all for this week at Otterbein. Thanks for watching.